Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine behind the markets. Happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, March 31st. I had dinner last night with some friends, a birthday dinner, 50th birthday for a buddy of mine. And we're sitting around the table. And sure enough, the topic of the Iran war came up. And some of the people at the table were saying, oh my God, I got to sell the market. It's a disaster. And other people were saying, no, don't sell the market. And got me thinking, I take for granted that I've been doing this for almost 35 years. And I remember in the 90s when I first started working on Wall Street, I didn't know if I should sell stocks. I remember the first World Trade Center bombing, 1993. My then girlfriend was stuck in the elevator at the time for 8 hours or whatever. And it was a whole big disaster. The market sells off. And I was like, should I sell stocks? And I remember the Oklahoma City bombing. Should I sell stocks? I remember the government shutdown. I remember long-term capital management, the Asia financial crisis. There have been smart sounding reasons to sell stocks forever and ever and ever and ever. I have wrote a few of them down here. The Russia default, oh my God, that was everybody. Y2K, everyone's telling sell stocks. Recession, everybody's saying sell stocks. 9/11, I remember 9/11 very much. Everybody's saying sell stocks. The Iraq war, oh my God, you got to get out of stocks. Afghanistan, oh, you got to get out of stocks. Banking crisis, 2009, 2006, 7, 8, 9. Housing crisis, the Great Recession. There's the Europe debt crisis. There's slow growth, inflation. And you know what I said to my friends is, there are always smart sounding reasons to sell stocks. But if you go through all the smart sounding reasons to sell stocks since 1950, the Red Scare, Sputnik, Korean War, rising interest rates, Bay of Pigs, Cuban Missile Crisis, Kennedy assassinated, Vietnam War, RFK, MLK killed. Since then, the market has gone up 100x, 100 times. And those were all smart sounding. OPEC embargo, recession, Nixon resigns, inflation, double-digit interest rates. It's always something. You remember 1987, market drops 22% in a day. Oh my God, get out of stocks. There are always smart sounding reasons to sell stocks. But yet, over time, the market just keeps chugging higher. Isn't that an amazing thing? And that's one thing that I've learned is to keep things in perspective. There's always a war. There's always a recession. There's always an expansion. There's always some revolutionary new technology. There's always a leader that people love, a leader that people hate. There's always an assassination of a very important person. There are always religious fanatics. There are always proxy wars. There's always a debt crisis. There's always too high deficits. There are always rising oil prices or lower oil prices. There are always terrorist attacks. Hannibal would have called the Roman general Flaminius, Gaius Flaminius, they would have called him a terrorist. And George Washington used those same exact strategies many years later in the American Revolution. There are always congressional investigations. There are always controversial Supreme Court rulings. There are always presidents being accused of overreach. There are always presidents being accused of underreach. There are always investigations of other people, the Red Scare, McCarthy, things like this. There are always battles between branches of government. There are always interest rates that want to go higher. We're going higher interest rates. There are always interest rates that we're going lower interest rates. There's always too much inflation. Sometimes there's too little inflation. On and on and on it goes. And one thing that I have learned over the years is to remind myself, the thing that I've learned is this is just the human experience. It's just a human experience. You can't really let it shake you out of the market. The great thing that we have in the United States is we have a system for allocating capital, low regulations, real low regulations for capital formation. And we have low punishments for failure. What I mean by that is that our system is really optimized. It could be done better, but it's really optimized to allow new entrepreneurs to get together, to form a business idea, and to say, ooh, we can make a lot of money doing this. It's really optimized to let people chase financial glory. It doesn't take a lot to do that. You can set up a business real easy. You register an LLC or an S Corp, whatever it is. You go to a bank and boom, you have a business. It's that easy. It's very, very different in other countries. They're not that easy. It's also very easy to fail at business. Oh, you know what? My plan was wrong. I spent 3 years doing this. You don't go to debtor's prison. I have put together multiple businesses. I have failed in business. And both times, it was just my ability to move at my speed that got me to the next thing. And my point is this: as long as our system allows capital to form quickly and start new businesses and also fail without big punishment, you just go to the next thing, the market will continue to go up 100x. That is the bottom line. Really, we have a capital allocation system in this country. There's nobody better than everybody else, period. Lower regulations to capital formation, and again, ability to walk away. Unlike Japan, we don't fall on our sword. It's on and on and on. As long as that stays the same, as long as that stays the same, the United States will be an incredible wealth-producing machine. This is the truth of it. This is why when we're talking about politics, I don't really think in terms of politics. I think in terms of policies. And there are some financial policies that I like from this side. There are some financial policies that I like from that side. But I'm always looking at our ability as a country, our freedom to start new businesses, and also when an idea doesn't work, to walk away without going to debtor's prison. You know what I mean? Without that crazy stuff going on. So as long as that happens, I like to remind myself, this is the human experience. Humans are going to human. We don't graduate above being human. And don't let that human experience, the strum and drung of human experience, shake you out of the market, especially if you own good things. Anyway, just wanted to share that message with you today. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow.